In this video, we'll explore 4 simple yet powerful strategies to significantly boost your chances of achieving your goals. When it comes to success, the difference between those who reach their goals and those who don't lies in the actions they take. Listening to experts, a few key principles consistently stand out. By applying these lessons, you can dramatically improve your odds of success. If you're already implementing some or all of those tactics, you're ahead of the game. If not, don't worry, these are easy wins you can start applying right after watching this video. For those of you who are new here, my name is Kevin Chiara. I'm a Swiss-based cinematographer and entrepreneur. This journey has already taken me to incredible places, including working on set with Zendaya and seeing my gaffers work on the big screen. I've recently launched my own fine art print store. Feel free to check it out. The link is in the description down below. And I'm currently developing my first lighting masterclass on Skillshare. I'm also documenting my journey here on YouTube, where I share insights on cinematography, creative income, and travel inspiration. If these topics resonate with you, you're in the right place. So let's dive in. Let's start with point 1, write it down. I was wondering if setting goals even work. And that's a fair question. But after diving into multiple studies, I discovered something interesting. Writing down your goals significantly increases your chances of achieving them. For example, Michigan State University conducted a study showing that students who wrote down their own goals had a 33% higher success rate compared to those who didn't. A 33% boost just for putting pen to paper. That's a study I didn't need to read twice to get on board. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. While writing down goals is powerful, it's easy to write a long, overwhelming list of priorities and then accomplish, well, none of them. Trust me, I've been there. More times than I'd like to admit, which is one of the main reasons I wanted to make this video. The good news? There's a better way to organize your goals so they don't spiral out of control. My personal approach is to categorize them into 4 key areas of my life: learn, love, launch, and finances. I use Notion to write down and organize my goals because it's accessible anywhere. But you can use Google Docs, Apple Notes, or any note-taking app that works for you. The key is to start with as little friction as possible. Just get going and start dreaming. Because it's January, begin by reflecting on the past year. What goals did you accomplish? Where do you want to improve? This is the time to think big and give yourself the freedom to dream. Personally, I like to start with my learn category. This is all about personal growth and exploration. Think about skills you want to develop or hobbies you've been putting off. Whether it's learning a new language, improving your photography skills, or taking a creative writing class, this is your chance to prioritize fun and curiosity. Love. I split this into 2 subcategories: personal and relationship goals. It's where I focus on my mental and physical health, as well as my ideal routine. This might include running a marathon, planning a weekend getaway with friends, or nurturing relationships that matter most. Writing down friendship and relationship goals is often underrated, yet these connections deeply impact the quality of our life. Even planning a simple trip can feel like a gift to yourself. Launch. This is where I dream big. Think about the projects you've been wanting to start, like launching a cookbook, building a website, or creating an online store. For example, this is where I plan out my fine art print store, featuring work from all around the world. Finances. Here I focus on what I want to achieve financially, whether it's saving for something special or setting income goals. Writing these down gives you clarity on what you're working towards, whether it's buying that dream item or creating a side hustle to hit your target salary. Once you've let yourself dream and brainstorm, it's time to create a framework to actually achieve your goals. As James Clear wisely said, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So what system should you build? Great question. Let's dive into that next. Point 2, the top-down approach. The top-down approach is all about taking your big goals and breaking them down into manageable steps, actions, and routines. Let me use the Skillshare class I'm currently creating as an example. The ultimate goal is to have the class uploaded and ready for learners. To get there, I need to reverse engineer the process and ask myself what exactly needs to happen to achieve this goal. This means laying the ground for me, this involves brainstorming chapter ideas, getting approval from Skillshare, writing scripts for each chapter, setting up the classroom, filming the videos, editing them, and figuring out how to upload them. It's important to get as specific as possible. I might also need to rent extra equipment or set up stages for presentations. For you, it could mean researching travel destinations or breaking down your saving goals into daily budgets. By understanding the full scope of your goal, you'll already make it feel more achievable. At this point, we've created a raw blueprint of our big picture goal. That's progress. Give yourself a pat on the back. That felt a little weird. Moving on. But maybe you're thinking, Kevin, I've been here before and it still didn't work. Life always gets in the way and I don't have enough time. I hear you. It's easy to get caught up in finding the perfect approach, but never actually take action. James Clear makes an important distinction between being in motion and taking action. While motion involves planning, strategizing, and learning, all great things, it doesn't produce results. Action, on the other hand, is what moves you forward. The tricky part is that being in motion feels satisfying. It gives us a sense of progress without the risk of failure. But as James points out, many of us are experts in avoiding criticism. I can relate. I often hesitate to post videos like this one because I'm afraid of being judged by my peers. If that resonates with you, trust me, I get it. But delaying action to avoid failure only holds us back. This is where we need to recognize the difference between preparation and procrastination. If planning becomes an excuse to avoid taking the next step, it's time to shift gears. As James says, the key is starting with repetition, not perfection. So, how do we get those reps in? Let's explore that next. Point number 3, timeline. Creating a timeline is essential for tracking progress and making goals more achievable. Personally, I'm a big believer in reducing the resistance to taking action. This helps me avoid feeling overwhelmed or paralyzed by the sheer amount of tasks to tackle. To stay focused, I break the year into quarterly goals. This structure simplifies progress tracking and allows me to prioritize one goal at a time rather than juggling multiple priorities. For example, my Q1 goal is to launch a Skillshare class within 3 months. This timeline strikes the perfect balance. It's not so far away that I can procrastinate, but it's significant enough to feel like a meaningful challenge. Breaking larger goals into smaller manageable steps makes them far more attainable. From there, I incorporate daily and weekly objectives to ensure steady progress. The key is to review these goals regularly, ideally on a daily basis. By consistently breaking big goals into small, actionable steps, the barrier to getting started becomes smaller and smaller. One effective strategy is to set aside 10 minutes every Sunday to plan out the week ahead. This allows time to assess current progress, adjust as needed, and create a clear weekly schedule with a to-do list. Think about it. Just 10 minutes on a Sunday? There's really no excuse not to do it, and it helps establish systems you can rely on. I also find it incredibly helpful to plan out the next day each evening before bed. It only takes about 5 minutes, but when I wake up, I know exactly what needs to be done. Whether it's a productive task or a moment of rest or even a simple walk. Too often, we spend hours on social media and then claim we don't have the time to read a book, cook meals, or work towards our goals. Attaching goals to a timeline ensures we stay focused and intentional. But let's not forget, where's the fun in all of this? Goals and systems should ultimately bring fulfillment, not just structure. Finding joy in the process is what makes it all worthwhile. That brings us to number 4, falling in love with boredom. Okay, I know this might not be the most exciting topic, but if you've made it this far into the video, I'm guessing you're not the kind of person looking for quick fixes or endless rainbows. Achieving ambitious goals, especially the big ones, take effort, persistence, and the willingness to push through the hard stuff. Let's face it, we all struggle with motivation sometimes. Yes, even the most successful people we admire feel unmotivated at times. The difference? They show up anyway. They push through boredom and repetition, understanding that mastery comes from consistent practice. The truth is, the more you practice something, the more mundane it can become. When we first start working towards a goal, it's easy to stay motivated. Early wins feel exciting and give us an instant boost. But things get harder when you're done the same task for the fourth time in a week and see no immediate result. That's when most people quit. The reality is, boredom, not failure, is often the biggest threat to success. It's not glamorous, but falling in love with the boring, unexciting parts is often the secret to achieving extraordinary things. Our modern world is full of distractions, constantly competing for our attention. Convenience and excitement are everywhere, making it easy to avoid the consistent effort required to reach our goals. But as James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, says, professionals stick to the schedule, amateurs let life get in the way. Success isn't about waiting for motivation to strike. It's about showing up and doing the work no matter what. Personally, this is something I struggle with a lot. There are always 100 excuses waiting to convince us not to put in the effort. What fascinates me are the people who seem to have every excuse in the book but simply don't listen to them. These are the individuals we admire, the ones who inspire us. If we truly want to achieve something extraordinary, we don't need to start big. We just need to start, show up, put in the reps, and push through the boredom. That's what separates achievers from everyone else. Now let's recap what we've covered today. We talked about 4 key steps to set ourselves up for extraordinary success. We started by looking at the importance of writing down our goals to clarify what we're working towards. We continued using a top-down approach to break big goals into smaller, manageable chunks before we started building a timeline to avoid getting overwhelmed by all the tasks ahead. And finally, the secret to success, embracing boredom and staying consistent. What a journey. Now it's time to put this into action. Alright, that's a wrap for today's video. I love you guys. Go chase those goals and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.